I'm pretty sure this particular story comes out of Tulsa, so Oklahoma is going to have to take the L for this heartbreaking story. Before we get into the details, I always have to give you guys a disclaimer that you might find my content controversial or offensive. My information is coming from credible sources. This one coming from people.com, so thank you for the article. This video commentary is also going to contain my personal opinions about the facts of the story. The point is to use this as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. And I have to pray that people will start learning before we continue to keep losing our babies. So I believe the story comes out of Tulsa. Family members allege that the parents accused of killing their 6 children in an apparent murder-suicide may have been facing mounting financial pressures prior to their deaths. And I've been saying this for a long time, and I wish people will hear me before you decide to procreate. I hope you guys are listening to the sound of my voice, and I'm telling you that as much as we love children, as much as we want to bring them into this world, if we are not financially prepared to do so at a maximum capacity, it's best that maybe we try to not get pregnant and have kids, especially more than we can actually afford to take care of, especially for these situations where people are having these kids back to back to back to back. Talk about mounting financial pressures. So it doesn't sound like you had your life mapped out properly. Going from check to check, possibly. There's a good chance that probably was the case. Can't do anything about these lives that are lost, but we can use these as cautionary tales to speak to somebody who's out there getting ready to lay down and have unprotected sex. I don't care whether you're married or not. It's a huge responsibility. And if you guys are not sure that you have a great means to be able to provide for yourselves, why add children to the mix if you can't properly take care of them? I point the finger at other people just as well as I pointed at myself. Want to throw that out there. Authorities in Oklahoma identified the deceased suspects as parents Brian Nelson, who was 34 years old, and Brittany Nelson, who was 32 years old. I didn't have pictures of them, but actually, let me see. No, I don't think I did. Not really. Anyway, speaking with Tulsa World, Brian's parents, Danny and Marilyn Nelson, confirmed that their grandchildren, Brian, which you can see right there, Brian II, who was 13 years old, Brantley, who was 9 years old, Vegeta, who was 7 years old. I think that's one of the anime characters' names. Ragnar, 5 years old. What is Ragnarok? I know that name, but Ragnar, 5 years old. Kurgan, 2 years old. And Britannica, like Encyclopedia Britannica, I guess, 1 year old, were the 6 juvenile victims in Thursday's incident. The evening they were killed, Danny and Marilyn said that they had plans to babysit the kids, according to the outlet. Brian and Brittany were supposed to drop them off to their grandparents. Five came and went, and then it was 6. I texted them, no responses. Danny told the paper. I turned on the 6 o'clock news, and they said that there had been a fire near Hickory and Galveston in Broken Arrow. That's where my son lives. Danny suspects that the family of 8's mountains of money troubles and a head injury Brian reportedly sustained in the workplace may have motivated for him and his wife to kill their family, the outlet reports. Brian and Brittany reportedly filed for bankruptcy in December 2020. The pair listed $138,000 in liabilities and nearly $9,000 in assets, including 9 guns, according to records obtained by the paper. The couple was unemployed at the time of the filing and receiving financial assistance from the government, the outlet reports. I think that the stress is what got to them, trying to figure out how to make it from month to month, Danny told the outlet. Then, every time one of those headaches came around, he would just lose it because because it was so excruciating, Marilyn added. I want people to know that at one time he had all his brain together. I just don't understand why they did what they did. I just don't understand why he ended up in that situation. I talk to God all the time, and I just don't understand. Firefighters allegedly discovered the bodies of Brian and Brittany in the front of their blazing Broken Arrow, Oklahoma home Thursday, while the bodies of their 6 children were discovered in a rear bedroom where the majority of the fire was contained, authorities said. Authorities said that the causes of their death for the family members are still pending. However, they do not believe their deaths were related to the fire. Firearms were also recovered from the home, and the investigation remains ongoing. All we can hope is that the kids didn't suffer. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys would do me a favor, y'all please make sure and share this story. We definitely want to make sure that it gets out there so people can hear it. Share the story. Share all of our stories if you would. Simple thing to do is click that thumbs up. All right, here we go.
Oklahoma starts now with breaking news.
At this time, we can say that the Broken Arrow Police Department has confirmed 8 dead.
A complex and shocking investigation going on right now in Broken Arrow. Authorities there, multiple agencies, are in the middle of an active homicide investigation after 8 people were discovered dead in a burning home within the last 10 minutes. Broken Arrow police say witnesses told them 2 adults and 6 children lived inside that home. We have live coverage from Broken Arrow right now, bringing you every angle of this developing story, beginning first at 10 with 2 News anchor Karen Larson. Karen, we're learning 8 dead, and we're told that this is a very complex investigation. What have you learned on scene tonight?
Well, just moments ago, we heard from Ethan Hutchins, the public information officer for Broken Arrow. He was telling us there are multiple agencies on scene. We are exactly right around the corner from this home. And this is a neighborhood where flashing lights like this is not what the neighbors tell me they ever see here. It's a quiet neighborhood, and they can't believe that this happened. Since this news tonight of 8 possible victims in that home, possibly that family, the 2 adults and the 6 children, is what we're hearing from the public information officer. Now the homicide investigation begins. I can see the crime scene investigators units right around the corner as well. You know, the investigators have been here for the past 6 hours trying to figure out what happened inside that home.
Understandably, this is a shock to Broken Arrow. It's a safe city. Broken Arrow doesn't have this kind of situation every day.
Ethan Hutchins, public information officer for Broken Arrow Police, provided an update at 7 tonight. At 4:05 p.m., officers got a call from neighbors about a fire at the house in the 400 block of South Hickory Avenue. It's in a neighborhood near Houston and Elm.
The Broken Arrow Police Department has confirmed 8 dead at a house here.
We're working to learn more about those 8 people.
From our statements with witnesses, it was 2 adults and 6 children that lived in the house.
BAPD says this is the first homicide incident they've dealt with this year.
The Broken Arrow Police Department continues to investigate the circumstances surrounding what happened here with this incident.
ATF is assisting in the fire investigation along with the Broken Arrow Fire Department. We've learned the home was damaged by the flames.
It's a complex scene with a lot of moving parts in the state of the house given the fire damage.
Now, Broken Arrow Police Chief Brandon Berryhill released a statement in response to the situation, saying, quote, "Broken Arrow stands together. We will mourn together. And in the end, we will heal together. Please pray for those who have lost their lives and for our first responders who are dealing with the tragedy of this magnitude." On
3 houses went. Now there are.
It's not been confirmed with police.
Good afternoon. My name is Ethan Hutchins. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Broken Arrow Police Department. We have Chief Brandon Berryhill with the Broken Arrow Police Department and Chief Jeremy Moore with the Broken Arrow Fire Department. They will answer a few questions following a brief statement. So I will turn it over to Chief Brendan Berryhill.
Thank you for coming today. Throughout last night and this morning, we've had a tremendous amount of public outpour of support from our citizens, surrounding agencies, and other first responders. This is an extremely difficult time for our city and our departments. We pray that healing will follow this, and as we move through this investigation, it will continue to be a difficult time. The Broken Arrow 911 Center received a call concerning a structure fire at 4:05 p.m. yesterday at 425 South Hickory. Fire crews and officers arrived within minutes. The home and one family residing, 2 adults and 6 children. I want to make it clear, the residents in the area, there is no danger to the public because of this incident. The situation is being investigated as a homicide. Many details are preliminary due to the nature of the fire that engulfed the home. I'm proud of our staff that took the 911 call, responded to the scene, and remain at this moment continuing the difficult task of piecing together the moments of last night. We have 6 juvenile victims, ranging in ages from 1 to 13 years old. We have 2 adult suspects deceased being investigated as a murder-suicide. Detectives have recovered firearms from inside the home. We are still in the process of ensuring all the next of kin has been notified. Teams from the Oklahoma State Medical Examiner's Office and the ATF responded to assist in the investigation.
Guys, just 2 doors down. That's how close this tragedy happened in this Broken Arrow neighborhood. Now, the neighbor I spoke with says it's usually quiet around here, but today there's a sadness in the air.
We kept our kids inside last night, so that way all they would know is about the fire. Unfortunately, some of the kids in the neighborhood did see what happened last night.
What happened last night is something Tracy will never forget.
I'm heartbroken for those kids. Kids that were supposed to be able to trust their parents.
After learning her neighbors 2 doors down were tragically killed in what Broken Arrow police are calling a murder-suicide.
My husband saw the first body being pulled out.
Broken Arrow investigators say calls came in initially about a fire, but after search and rescue efforts, they found 2 adults dead in one room and 6 children dead in another where the main fire was.
I can only imagine what they were feeling, how scared they were, how betrayed they felt, how confused they felt. No child should ever feel that way from their parent.
Now, crime scene tape decorates a driveway where children once played.
The heartbreak that's over the house right now. I didn't even drive by it this morning.
Broken Arrow police say it's still very early in the investigation, but they don't believe the children died from the fire. However, they suspect the adults in the murder-suicide. In Broken Arrow, Megan Mosley, KOCO 5 News.
And it's really hard to troubleshoot the emotions when you get deep into financial trouble like this. But that's why it's really best that we try to look way, way far in advance to even see and measure if we can have kids, if we can afford to have kids, and if so, how many can we have? And I'm not one of those people just believing just having kids just because your body can produce them, right? But again, that's why we have to think way, way deeper and way further out as far as our financial planning to make sure not only that we can handle our bills when unexpected things happen, we can have a nest egg put to the side to be able to try to tide us over until we can get to the next point. But that's definitely got to be a group effort. I know financial things happen, but this ain't the damn answer, though. But RIP to those children that lost their lives, to their parents that were just so selfish that didn't see this thing through. It's just really, really sad. But I think that the grandparents were absolutely willing to help. The choice that they made was just flat out selfish. But RIP to those lost souls, okay? But thank you, and make sure that you guys please share these stories. Leave a comment if I've said something. If I missed anything, please leave a comment and let me know. From my heart to yours, I love you all. Thank you, and have a great day. We'll see you guys on the next story, all right? Thank you.